Welcome, everyone. My presentation today is on government information resources for historical research. My name is Mary Jane Bloomquist. I'm the Government Information Librarian at Fraser Memorial Library. The Government Information Department is located on the 4th floor, so if you get a chance, come see us. Okay, federal government publications have a large amount of them because they publish things on almost anything you can think of. The Government Printing Office, the GPO, is the mother of all publishers. It's the largest information processing, printing, and distribution facility in the world. Like I said, it has publications on almost every subject that you can think of. Most government documents are primary sources. This can be speeches and statistics is an example. The majority of the publications are born digital. And the ones that are not born digital, which will be your older documents, they are in the process of digitizing those documents, but it is a long process. And this is a Centers for Disease Control and Prevention the zombie preparedness was a campaign to engage new audiences with preparedness messages. So it was just a fun way to present information. Okay, what to expect from government information? Finding them is an art. It takes time. They are authoritative but possibly biased. One example of this is the Department of Defense in the 1950s and communism. And the documents come in all shapes and sizes. There are hearings with thousands of pages, congressional resolutions at half a paragraph, and some publications will include things for children. An example is coloring books for kids. Where do I begin? Even government information specialists do not know everything that is available. So the first thing you need to do is flush out your topic, usually by browsing books or searching the internet. The Government Information Department website is a great place to start. I will be going over that in a later slide. Another place to look for non-US topics is the Best of History website. This is the Best of History website. And we're going to look at general history resources. And then you see general history websites and resources, and it lists them over here. And then you can go to research. And on the research page, then you can go to primary source collections and activities. And one of these primary source collections is the Library of Congress. They have a lot of primary source collections. And I will be going over some of their things they have later in the presentation. But as you can see, we have a list of some other things here, like the National Archives Education Service, which is a UK archives. And then we have our National Archives Record Administration. So these are just some things that y'all can look at. Okay, important online information sources. Federal. The USA.gov is just a general website. It's an easy search engine for government information. I'm not going to click on that one. You can get a lot of hits depending on what you search for, but sometimes it's hard to find what you're actually looking for. But I am going to click on archives.gov. Okay, archives.gov is done by the National Archives. And we're going to look for organizations and offices. And then we're going for Center for Legislative Archives. I'm just showing you some things that you can look at. And then okay, the Center for Legislative Archives preserves and makes available to researchers the historical records of the U.S. House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate. And this is February feature. They're showing one is Harriet Tubman, and they're showing that she received a pension after the U.S. Civil War. She served on the Union side as a scout, nurse, cook, and spy. And after the war, she received a pension as a widow of Union veteran. And so this is her pension claim. So this would be a primary document. So this is just something that you can find on this particular website. Okay, the next one we're going to go to is the libraryofcongress.gov. Remember, I said that we would come back to the Library of Congress because the Library of Congress has a ton of primary sources. Okay, we're going to look for A Century of Lawmaking for a New Nation. And the Library of Congress has, they have music, they have photographs. So there's a lot of primary sources that you can find at the Library of Congress. Okay, and this is what we're going to the web page, A Century of Lawmaking for a New Nation, U.S. Congressional Documents and Debates. And this is the early stuff that was put out by the federal government. So it says, beginning with the Continental Congress in 1774, America's national legislative bodies have kept records of their proceedings. And so this would be a place that you can come to look at those if you want to look at some early government information. Okay, the next thing that we're going to look at is the vault, fbi.gov. Okay, and this is the FBI's FOIA library. It contains many files of public interest and historical value. And it's giving you, it says this material may not be suitable for all ages. Please view it with discretion. So this is contains 6,700 documents and other media that has been scanned from paper into digital copies so you can read them in the comfort of your home or office. And here are many new FBI files that have been released to the public but never added to this website. Dozens of records previously posted on our site but removed as requested, and new previously unreleased files. So this is just where their files are, and you can look up different things. And it's telling you some things, the different categories. They've got anti-war, civil rights, and we'll just click on the civil rights one right here. And so this is just an example. It will give you a date, and it will tell you these are about different people. The first one is Glenn Rodney King, and it's saying he was a victim of abusive arrest by Los Angeles police officers in 1991. So that's just a place you can find primary documents. Okay, the next one we're going to look at is a National Security Archive.edu. And this was actually founded in 1983 by journalists and scholars to check government secrecy, sorry. And so they're telling you here there are 35% plus years of freedom of information action, and they're giving you some things up here in this, the Capitol riots. They have some documents about that. And then they have like a featured interview. And they have an NPR, Donald Trump's destruction of documents. They have that listed here that you can listen to. And you can search documents, browse, and search through thousands of declassified primary source materials. So this is a place that you can come for primary source materials. The next one we'll go to will be Chronicling America. And this is America's historical newspapers from 1789 to 1963. It's jointly sponsored by the Library of Congress and the National Endowment to the Humanities. So if you're needing newspapers, this will be a good place to come. And then our next site we're going to go to is Smithsonian.edu. The Smithsonian is the world's largest museum, education, and research complex. Okay, and here we can go to explore and learn. And then they have one particularly for researchers. And then you can click on the researchers, and then they have the archives right here. And they're having archival resources at the Smithsonian. They're saying they have a vast archival research collections that measure over 163,300 cubic feet. And the scope of the collections is staggering and covers nearly every facet of our nation's history. So this is somewhere you can come for if you're needing research. Okay, the next thing we're going to go over is the Internet Archive.org. This is actually not a federal website, but it contains digital versions of U.S. documents as well as other government documents. And this one is, see, it's showing you U.S. government documents. And the first one is like a global public safety codes. So I don't know if that's a federal, well, it does say it's U.S. Government documents. But U.S. congressional hearings, that's telling you they have 24,899 items in that particular thing. They have Ninth Circuit of United States Court of Appeals, 3,513 items. So as you can see, they've got government documents in here. And then they've got California government documents. So they've got a variety of different things here. And they're showing you over on the side that you can do it by year. You can specify what year you need. So this is somewhere you can find government documents that have been have an electronic version. Okay, the last one that we're going to go over is CIA.gov. Okay, here I had a little glitch with the browser, but we're here at the CIA.gov. And so we're just going to look here for what information that they have. So we're going to go down here to the bottom for Resources Freedom of Information Act. And this takes you to the Freedom of Information Act electronic reading room. And so it tells you about the reading room. It's showing you what's new on the electronic reading room. And they're showing you a bulletin right there on President Kennedy with former President Eisenhower. And here you can click on the current Central Intelligence Bulletin collection. And that's showing you the one that they're just were showing on the page. And then if you want to look at the bulletin, you would just click on it. And it's just going to be scanned pages. And as you can see, they were top secret, but they have been released. So you can just look at these, and these are going to be primary sources. Okay, I had already went over the Library of Congress about the century of lawmaking, so let's go to the next slide. This is Foreign Relations of the U.S. And this is historyofstate.gov. And here you see historical documents. And this is by the Office of the Historian. And the official documentary historical record of major U.S. foreign policy decisions and significant diplomatic activity began in 1861. And you can just click on the ones that have been published. because the latest one that they have here is William J. Clinton. His has been published, but they don't have any other one more current than Clinton. We'll just click on his, and they're showing when his administration was. It was from showing 1993 to 2000, and their foundations of foreign policy. They said that one has not been, it's being planned, but research has not begun. So let's see if there are any of those. Oh, it looks like most of these haven't been done yet. So let's go back to an earlier one that should have this stuff done now. Well, this one isn't either. We'll go back to Kennedy. Okay, and it says John F. Kennedy administration, 1961 to 1963. And the volumes are grouped into regular and retrospective categories. And the regular volumes, here's one, Vietnam, 1961, published and available in full text ebook. So we'll just click on that one. And it's just giving some Vietnam, and then they have documents. They have 343 documents. And so you just keep clicking until you get to the actual document. And this was a paper prepared by the County Team Staff Committee. I'm sorry, Country Team Staff Committee. So this is somewhere you can come to look up foreign relations history. Okay, and here we have some of the documents that the Avalon Project has. And like I said, it's documents in law, history, and diplomacy. And we'll look at some of the ones down here. There's a project, DIANA, an online human rights archive. They have the International Military Tribunal for Germany, a document collection. But we're just going to click on one of the 21st century documents up here. And the first one they have listed is the 9/11 Commission Report. And so we'll just click on this. And as you can see, this is a document that has 585 pages. So this is just an example of the type of documents that would be in this particular database. Okay, how to find tangible government information. Okay, the tangible government information could be either print, microfiche, maps, or other kinds of documents. And the way to find those is go to the catalog. And you can just check on any particular topic that you'd like. I'm just going to do energy. And we get a lot of results. So I'm just going to have it include government information. And then we're just going to have it include books. And so let's see, the first format, they're saying it's a book. It's solar energy, and it's put up by the United States Department of Energy, Office of Education, Business, and Labor. And the call number, you see the call number there? That is what you need if you are needing to look at this particular book at Fraser Library, you just need to make a note of the call number and the title, and then we would be able to locate it for you. Okay, the other place you can go is our LibGuides. Okay, and this is the government information LibGuides. And as you can see up here, we have tabs about finding and citing government information. We have digital documents, which we'll go ahead and click on. Okay, and as you can see, we have digital libraries and archives, starting with American Memory. And then in the other section is McNeese databases and search engines. The digital library and archives, I had already went over some of those in other slides. And then the McNeese databases and search engines, y'all probably already know about those, but there's a list of those if you want to go over those. Then we have federal, state, and local resources. Okay, and these are the federal, state, and local resources. In federal resources, you see it starts with American Fact Finder, and it gives you a list of different federal resources. Then you have Louisiana state resources. The first one is louisiana.gov. Then you have Calcasieu Parish resources. That one starts out with the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury website, and then you have websites for the different cities, and then a few towns in Calcasieu Parish. And then we will do the Calcasieu Estuary collection. Okay, and this is about two of the collections that McNeese Library has. The first one is the Calcasieu Estuary Environmental Task Force collection, and they're located on the 4th floor of Fraser Memorial Library. You need to call to request documents, and we will have those ready for you when you arrive, because they have to be pulled from the collection of documents. The other one we have is Calcasieu Estuary Remedial investigation. This was done by the EPA starting in the late 1990s. And they conducted an investigation of the Mossville community located in Sulphur and Westlake, Calcasieu Parish, Louisiana. The purpose of the investigation was to collect information concerning conditions in Mossville and to assess the threat posed to human health and the environment. In those also, you would need to call and request the documents, and we would have to pull those and have them ready for you when you arrive. Okay, the other way to find tangible government information is contact your government information department staff. Older materials pre-1976 may not be cataloged. Some are, because we have an ongoing project of cataloging our government documents. And for information requiring specialized print indexes like the monthly catalog, you would come to us and then we would help you locate what you're needing. Important information resources federal. We have the Federal Register, its proposed rules and final rules. We have the statutes at large, which is law. It has the details of the laws. We have the Congressional Record, which is debates and speeches in Congress. We have the public papers of the President. We have the budget of the United States government. We have the United States Code, which is how laws are enforced. We have the United States Government Manual. We have the Bureau of Census Reports. We have the monthly catalog, which is publication of government agencies that started in 1895. We have the serial set, which is a bibliography of Congress. It started in 1817. Okay, to find information in the serial set, you need to have a serial set number. That tells you what volume the document is in. And the serial set started with the first Congress of the first session of the 15th Congress in 1817. So it's been going on for a long time. And we're going to click on this U.S. Congressional Serial Set, what it is and its history. So, and this is just going to tell you about it. Schedule of serial set volumes, numerical list of documents and reports. And these are going to be the later documents. Remember the Library of Congress that I showed you? Remember, that would be the early documents from the government. So you can see a government information librarian if you're needing something specific in the serial set. And the other thing to tell you is the serial set is a chronological publication by session of Congress of numbered Senate and House documents and Senate and House reports. Okay, now we get to Louisiana documents. And these are the important information resources for Louisiana. Finding tools, we have the official publications list of public documents of Louisiana, which is a print document. Then we have the public documents of Louisiana. And this is by the State Library of Louisiana. And here you have the Louisiana Public Documents Digital Archives, and public documents in digital format are preserved in the Library Digital Library. Okay, the next we're going to look at is the Louisiana Digital Library. Okay, this is an online library of more than 400,000 digital items from Louisiana archives, libraries, museums, and other repositories. And I know that from the McNeese Library archives, we have like historical photos that are going to be in here. Let's see, we are going to search and see if we can pull up anything from the Lake Charles area. And so it did. So this is some of the stuff that the McNeese Library Archives Department put into this digital library. And the first one is aerial photographs. And so they're saying this is from 6/6/1949. So if you want to see what Lake Charles downtown looked like back in 1949. The second thing is from a scrapbook, which is a Maud Reed scrapbook, that is in our archives department, and this is just a picture and then with a caption, and it's saying in 1895. So that's the time period of that. So that is just an example of what they have in there, and I just wanted to pull up something that was from our area. Okay, the next is the Bayou State Periodical Index. And it's a subject index to articles in Louisiana periodicals published between 1958 and today. You can search by keyword, subject heading, or author. And we will try to see if we can pull up anything for Lake Charles. Oops. We'll just try to do it in Louisiana Cooking and see if we find anything. Okay, we didn't find anything, well, but you can look up articles in here. Okay, other important Louisiana publications are the Louisiana Register. It's a monthly publication. It provides access to certified regulation and legal notices issued by the executive branch of state government. We have the Acts of Louisiana Legislature. This is the official record of laws passed by the Louisiana State Legislature. And then we have Louisiana reports, and then like budget materials. We have special McNeese collections, like the estuary collection and EPA collection, which we had already went over before. Okay, the next I want to go over is propaganda and censorship. The content of government publication is, of course, determined by government officials. Even a verbatim hearing transcript resulting from a proceeding organized by such officials can be influenced by the questions and exchanges they and their staff have developed ahead of time and may be edited prior to publication. So they're just cautioning you. Manipulation and censorship can replace fair and objective management in these situations. Furthermore, propaganda, which might constitute selected truths, intentional distortions or exaggeration, and outright lies can result. So just keep in mind, sometimes stuff is propaganda or it could be censored. Okay, and the contact information is provided here for the government information staff, which is Ms. Jeannie Brock. I gave you her email address and her phone number. And then you have my name and my email address and my phone number. And then to just get the government information desk, I gave you that number too. So when you have some government information needs, be sure and give us a call if you're having trouble finding what you're looking for. Because between the two of us, we'll be happy to help you find exactly what you're looking for. Hope y'all have a great semester.